Continuing, my dear Aquarius and dear Leo, what is offered to you? What is offered to you at this moon? It's the Two of Cups. It's a companionable and happy, ecstatic even, way of working together and caring for each other. It's our care for each other under this moon. And all the power of that delight and inventiveness is available to you at this time. Okay, the moon blesses you with that. Okay, and then I'm going to look at your associations with what is offered to you through your correspondences with these two goddesses. So your association with Juno here is interesting because this card came out for your association, Aquarius, as you carry our water for us, as you bear water for us, even as an air sign. So these things that truly allow us to live, on the planet in our forms. And then what I drew for you as buttercup was female sexuality and a joyous presence within that self-possession, and then being in that self-possession in a field of love. Okay, and the buttercup, the simple buttercup, is offering that to you. It reminds me of one time being with someone I loved in a place where there were buttercups, and I had only ever really read stories that had buttercups in them. And anyway, it was a sweet moment that I had with someone. So this cloth here represents Juno, who you're also associated with. So I just think it's interesting that it came up with the feminine sexuality card, because Juno, among other things, she's a protectress of the nation with a particular care and responsibility and, for the lives of women and girls. So she's a protectress of women and girls, as well as with the good of the nation, because of course the good of the nation, requires the good of all citizens. Okay, so I'm going to see what Juno's offering at this time for you and through you. And of course these energies work, for the masculine and feminine as you relate to that archetype within anybody, no matter how you experience your biological self. And so, really the archetypes are changing swiftly to meet the changes in energy here on Earth, but yet also they're powerful ways of understanding that come down to us, but they expand. They contract and expand, as any myth does, as the surrealist painter Leonora Carrington from the 20th century says. I can't remember exactly how she says it, but like, stories don't stay alive unless they are changing and morphing and still resonating within people. So, as a Taurus, with my Venus also in Taurus, and also my moon in Taurus, I feel a lot of connection with Venus, who is also associated with, I'm going to get to her in a minute, with Leo. But we imagine our ways into ourselves. Our imaginations appear with reality as part of it. We come in, our souls come into form. And so, there's a long way around of saying, I'm not just talking necessarily about the divine feminine, women having to stand up to men, which is something that's happening, but also like within us, so that we come together in this way of understanding ourselves, that nobody has to stand up and define themselves, in order to be taken seriously or to be cared for properly. We all come into this place of alignment together, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Justice, wow. And it came up reversed. So what else can I say? Juno, I couldn't have even planned that. Juno comes up, that the power that's offered through you is the power of justice And it actually came out reversed, and I've been reading reversals as this coming more easily than we may have even ever prayed or hoped for or imagined possible. Wow, okay. And that relates to this moon, you know, that we can all be here together, working together, and be delighted with each other, you know. And there are a million trillion genders. There's a gender for each soul that is existing on earth, as one of my friends says, you know. There's a gender for every person that's alive. Because we all inhabit, again, these archetypes in our own ways and express them. We are all expressions of them in some sense. Okay, upside down for Venus is the Knight of Pentacles. So with what you got for the sweet flower saffron, you know, this gorgeous, glorious tending and this happiness in the way the imagination and the earth and all the things and the making of them and the quiet resting and contemplation of them, that's all gorgeous. And then, you know, we can be in the Knight of Pentacles is this slow moving progression forward, you know, and I'm reading this as like a slowing down of our days, so that we're not so harried, so that we can, you know, enjoy, as the gentle person is in this card. So it comes more easily. This slowing down, this almost like a change in the calendar, in the way we understand the calendar. The calendar is so put upon with these, you know, we have the 2 months named after Roman empires just stuck in the middle, and it doesn't make sense. And then October, you know, well, anyway, blah, blah, blah. So if we go by the more nature's calendar, you know, with the moons and the seas and all this, it's this slow progression that Venus is offering us, this ability to slow down and truly be present. Okay. Now I'm going to see, I think I might draw an additional card for the 4 measures of elements here, and then an additional card, and then another card for what you all have in your fixed modality. So for the earth, it's the 5 of Pentacles, which is this feeling of being outside, but it's upside down. So I'm going to take that as reversing that, so we all come together into this structure where all are included. That's offered by the Earth Trine, another upside down card, the King of Wands. So I might as well just take this as male sexuality then, because it comes up so near the Queen of Wands, which I'm taking as female sexuality, or the parts of sexuality that have been seen as male and the ones that have been seen as female. Okay. And this comes with the water trine, this clarity that's the Knight of Wands. I read that, weird, I read that as the Knight of Swords before. Okay, so that's interesting. It's actually the Knight of Wands here. So the Knight and then the King of Wands. So really this flowing and coming easily into a more matured and grounded male sexuality that's offered to us. That's really nice, this combination of things. Please just rewind it to hear it again if you'd like to, because I don't want to go over it again, because then I'm going to run out of time on my tape. The Lovers upside down came as the mental imagination, and this Lovers card, so that we can reimagine and move forward into new ways of being in love. That's in the, and then Knight of Wands here in the fire energy. So this new economy that I spoke of earlier, you know, but then it's dissolving into this way that we can all live kindly. We can all live kindly and illuminated by the very plain fact that 1, love is the strongest force in the universe, and 2, that's Albert Einstein, and 2, equality is like gravity, which is Joss Whedon. And dear Aquarius, you got the Ace of Wands. You got a magic wand in your energy. And as you help us by bearing this flow of emotion and nurturing water and helping us ground it into the air and atmosphere on Earth, which can sometimes feel difficult to be in, you know, especially you think of coming down to earth, like, oh, like, or coming down off being on drugs, or coming, you know, just being born, or coming out of some amazing or difficult or scary passage, and then coming into this fresh new place, and it can feel like, oh, really disorienting, even on the cellular level. But then we ground into it here with what Leo is offering us. So the magic of making it anew, and then the grounding of it, the magic of grounding it, Leo is offering us. And I'll draw a card for each of you. Actually, I'm going to use another deck for that, but I'm going to draw a card for each of you as fixed energies. Okay? Actually, I think I'll use this deck. And then one for your field of potential, and then I'm going to go into some other aspects in the next video. Okay, dear Leo, you have the ability, oh wow, you have the ability to care for a scared person. Maybe it's a scared part of yourself. It's like a large feminine angel, a small masculine human, this scary animal or an idea, and that they're outside a temple. It's some sort of mending. It's some sort of mending, and I mean, I'm reading this is a general reading. So I go into like the greater energies, you know, for the collective. I'm not used to reading generally and publicly. I'm used to reading privately and, you know, with an individual, a specific individual. So with